بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم و به نستعین. Salam alaikum. I hope you're keeping well. Welcome to another session of Spiritual Saturdays. The topic for the short presentation today is inner peace. And I was thinking a lot about what to talk about tonight because, there are so many things when we have the broader topic of spirituality, there are so many things we can talk about. But there has been something in my mind the past few weeks, which I think it's such an important concept to have in mind. It'll make life so much easier. And, there have been a few things like psychological issues that when I try to go to the root of them to see what's at the root, what is causing the root of the psychological issue, I realize inner peace is at the core of a lot of them. I will explain it. I was working on addiction. I tried to go to the root of addiction. I found, this is there. Anxiety, it's there. With so many things, when I tried to go to the root cause, to the bottom of it, and see what is the root cause, I came to this place. What is this place? See, in life, it's very natural for us to feel things which we don't want to feel. They're uncomfortable, right? So it's so natural. It happens so often in our life that we get feelings which are uncomfortable and we try to avoid them. Why? Because we're smart people. We don't want to have an uncomfortable life. And this point, this uncomfort that we feel, and we try to avoid, this becomes the root cause of so many things later on. Now, I have spoken before about this, that how, for example, trying not to feel discomfort can lead to addiction, right? I've spoken about it that in order for us to distract ourselves from a painful feeling or an uncomfortable feeling, we try to hold on to something, right? Okay, I'm feeling a little bit lonely. It's uncomfortable. So I'll try to hold on to something that would distract me from this uncomfortable feeling inside, right? And what happens? Well, I become addicted to that because I don't want to keep feeling uncomfortable. The next time an uncomfortable feeling comes, again, I will hold on to something. It could be anything. Maybe in order to avoid feeling lonely or in order to avoid feeling, for example, insecure, I would hold on to eating. Or for some, it could be even their work. Or it could be a substance. Or it could be watching, for example, certain websites that later on you're not happy watching. So it could be anything. But in order not to feel that feeling inside of, for example, loneliness or insecurity or a sadness even, we hold on to something to distract us, but it's nice. The discomfort is good. I was feeling lonely. Now I'm, for example, on social media doing something. I no longer feel lonely. I feel like it's totally gone. I've forgotten about it. So it's nice. So slowly, a pattern is created, right? Slowly, this turns into something which is not a choice anymore. It turns into a compulsion. Next time loneliness comes, I don't even make the decision. Autopilot, I jump to that action. Right? Now, I said it could be loneliness, it could be pain, it could be grief, it could be so many things, insecurity, it could be guilt. So we go there. Now, this was with addiction. With anxiety as well, this could be the reason, right? Now, imagine one of the reasons anxiety happens is what? We could have a sensitive alert system, right? Because what is anxiety? Anxiety is that the body is either on the fight or flight, right? The emotional part of the brain is sending a signal that there's a threat. There's a threat, be careful, right? And you feel on the edge because the brain is telling you there's a threat, right? And this made sense a lot. I mean, a lot of situations, this is a very good thing. Let's say you're being attacked outside, or before, if you were in the nature and a bear was attacking you or a lion was attacking you, the brain would say, danger, threat, run, right? So at that point, when you're in danger, you don't care if you're not feeling calm or not. You just want to save your life, so you just want to run. Now, what happens is that a lot of the times the same system is activated in situation in which the threat is not that real, right? In the modern life, and by the way, this is not our body's fault. We've created this society now in a way that there are so many things which seem like a threat to us, right? Like we go to work and then they tell you that, see, if you lose your job, for example, then your insurance is gone, your children are going to be in trouble, right? So even when your boss seems a little bit unhappy and talks to you like he's not pleased with you, that seems like a real threat. That seems like a lion is chasing me, right? Or for example, you're a student and a deadline for an essay is approaching. That feels like a real threat, even though no one should feel scared or threatened, even if they miss an essay. So what? But we've made society in a way that these things seem like real threats to us. Okay. Now, I will talk a little bit about what should we do when we feel anxious about these threats, which are not real attacks on our life. It's not like our life is on danger. Before I say what is the way that the experts say on how to deal with this, I want to talk about what is the way that a lot of us deal with it. Right? So we'll get to what we should do and what the experts tell us we should do. But let's say, how do we deal with it? A lot of the times when anxiety comes, as I said, the emotional part of the brain is sending us a signal. There's threat. Whereas actually, no, we're not in a danger. But inside, what are we feeling? The body is on, in a fight or flight, or if it's not adrenaline, then it's cortisol. So the body is on edge, it's high alert, right? So, and we feel that our heart, it will show itself in our heart pace, it will show itself on the way we breathe, right? A lot of thoughts may keep coming to our head, right? So it becomes a little bit uncomfortable. A lot of people experience it like a whoosh kind of feeling. Suddenly they feel like, ooh, something's happening. Right? So it's really uncomfortable. The way we experience anxiety inside, it's very uncomfortable, right? What is actually happening? The brain is sending a signal that there's threat, right? But how do we experience that? Ooh, a lot of negative thoughts. Oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? Oh, what if I'm in trouble? What if I never get well? What if this never finishes? Right? So we've got certain thoughts, we've got certain feelings, we've got certain emotions. It's really uncomfortable. Okay? Now, how do we deal with this? A lot of us, because we don't even know what's happening, we're suddenly so overwhelmed by it. So we try to, for example, think our way out of it. Right? So let's say I've said a sentence in a group chat, right? And now I'm worried that maybe someone will judge me, okay? Now, this thing that maybe someone will judge me, my body may experience this as, oh, your life is in danger, right? So it starts the whole alert system. Your body goes on an edge as if we're dealing with a threat. The thoughts keep coming. Ooh, what if they judge me? What if they kick me out of the WhatsApp group? What if they'll never talk to me again? What if I'll never have friends? What if I'll remain lonely, right? Why am I like this? What should I do, right? So these thoughts keep coming. Which is basically the translation of that threat system, that alert system. And it's uncomfortable. So what do? We try to engage with it. Let's talk with it. So we may say, no, don't worry. You know what? No, I said this, but then maybe they'll feel this, or you know what, I can message the moderator and tell them to remove my message, or you know what, maybe I can send these 10 messages to remove that message, right? So we try to think of ways to control the situation. Or we may say, you know what, Hassan, I don't even need these friends. I'll avoid this WhatsApp group and these friends forever. Hassan, I don't even need them. I'll go and join other friends. I'll find other friends. You know what, if I have other friends and I don't need these people in this group, that's fine. I'm fine, right? Because it was uncomfortable, we tried to feel comfort We try to remove the uncomfortable feeling, but we engaged with it. So, what happens is that we're looking for a solution now, right? And then the brain, how does the brain feel right now? The brain was like, okay, if Javad is looking for a solution, and Javad is so scared, so I was right that there is a threat. Ooh, Javad, be careful, right? So the brain gets a signal that, ooh, it actually was a threat, because look at Javad. Javad's scared. Javad's looking for a solution, right? So next time in a similar situation, it will make us even feel more scared, right? If the next time this happens, it will be like, we've got the memory from last time. This is a real threat, right? So next time it will become even worse. And then again, next time we don't know all of this is happening, right? Again, we'll engage with it. Now, this could be in so many areas of our life. Let's say, for example, we went to the shopping mall. We went to the shopping mall. We got scared. We got anxious. Something happened. It made us feel anxiety. Right? Maybe, let's say, for example, maybe I saw someone and I felt that they may judge me for my body, right? Maybe I felt that someone may judge me for my body. My brain sent the threat signal. All of those things happened to me. I got so many what if moments, what if thoughts. Oh, what if no one will want to marry me? What if, for example, or if I'm married, what if my wife leave me? What if this, what if that? And my body is feeling all of those things. I'm feeling scared. It shows in my heart. It shows in my breath, right? It changes my breath. I feel overwhelmed. I feel a sense of doom. It could be really uncomfortable, right? Because the brain thinks this is a threat. And now, because I don't know what I should be doing, I may engage with it, try to calm myself down. Or, for example, maybe next time I'll be like, okay, I don't want to feel like that anymore, so I'm not going to go to the shopping mall. Or, I don't want to feel like that. Let me call a friend and have them tell me that, no, there's nothing wrong with me, right? Let me seek reassurance, for example. Now, I'm basically looking for a solution. So what am I again telling my brain? That, yes, brain, you were right. This is a threat, and that's why I'm looking for a solution. And the brain is like, gotcha. Next time, I will make you even feel worse, so you never go to the shopping mall, right? So if now I went to the shopping mall, I got scared, next time I'll be like, you know what? Last time was really uncomfortable because there were so many people. They may judge me for how my body looks. Let me not go in public. Let me go at a time in which there are less people. Right? That time it was really busy. So let me go at a time where there are not that many people. I don't want to feel like that. So my brain is like, okay, I got it. When people are there, that's a real threat. I make sure you never do that. Right? Now, why did all of this happen? Because initially we felt really uncomfortable when the brain sent that initial alert system. Right? And then we didn't know what to do. We thought we have to solve it. We started either avoiding the situation or seeking reassurance or engage mentally with it. And that just convinced our brain that, oh, yes, this was a threat. Now, what do the experts say we should do? The experts say, see, the brain thought that if you see someone in the shopping mall and then a thought comes to your mind that they may judge your body, the reason why you felt all of those feelings of doom and the what if thoughts and the thing and the breath changes, all of that which shock you, the reason for that is that your brain thought this is a threat. So it activated the threat system. Just like before, if a lion had attacked you, and you wanted to be on the, when a lion attacks you, you don't care if you digest your food or not. So the brain is like, digestive system, we don't need you, right? Calmness, we don't need you. Bring all the energy there is to the body. We need to run. We need to escape from that lion. And now imagine, and I don't know if you, for example, been in a situation where you were running away from someone, right? Your whole body's like, so you want to run. But imagine feeling that in the middle of shopping mall and no one's chasing you. You become so confused, like, what is happening, right? I'm not running away from something. right? The experts say, see, the brain is analyzing the situation as a threat. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that you have a very smart brain. It can analyze so many situations and think of dangers which are so unlikely or which will not have that much an impact on you, right? If you want to now send a message to your brain that this is not a real threat, this is not a lion is chasing us, we're fine. We're just in a shopping mall, right? How do you do that? You can't talk to your brain because this part of your brain is the emotional brain. You cannot talk to it through words. So in action, you have to show it. And it's not easy. It's very difficult, right? How do you show it? You say, see, despite feeling this way, I'm going to act as if everything is okay so that my brain gets the signal that, Javad acted as if things are okay. So next time in this situation, I won't activate the alert system. Right? So the way to tell my body that this is not a threat, next time if we're in a shopping mall, don't activate this, is to act as if this is not a big deal. If I want to ignore it, or if I'm so scared of it, I try not to think about it. My brain will know, he's trying not to think about it. That means he's scared, right? So this is a real threat. If I want to engage with it, he's finding a solution. So it's a real threat. The only way we can tell our brain that this is not a real threat, next time, please don't activate, is if we act as if it's not a threat. If we continue doing what we were doing. And I'm not saying this is easy. It's really not. Why is this not easy? Because all of those feelings are there. We have a lot of urges inside. Right? And if you remember, we said the brain has already, for that instance, activated the alert system. So you're having thoughts, you're having feelings. Even when you want to tell your brain that things are fine, in your own mind, you're getting so many thoughts. What if this is wrong? What if we're really in danger? What if they'll judge me? What if I'll never get married? What if this? What if that? What if that? Right? So all of this is happening in my mind. And what I have to do is, despite all of that, still act as if everything is fine. And that's difficult, right? So this is again, and so we may give in. We may be like, you know what, forget about it. I'll try to distract myself. Forget about it. I won't go. It's not worth it. This is too difficult. The urges are so difficult not to engage with, right? So this may happen. It's not easy. Why are we talking about this again tonight? Because the topic is not anxiety. The topic is this. See, again, like addiction, in anxiety, we see the same thing. Because if a feeling of uncomfortableness, discomfort comes, and they tell us that if you want to have a healthy life, if you want to push through it, if you don't want this to happen again, you shouldn't escape from it. You shouldn't distract yourself from it. You should push through that uncomfortable feeling, right? It's very similar to addiction. In addiction, for example, loneliness would come or insecurity would come. It was so uncomfortable. In order not to feel that, I would go and hold on to an activity, like eating, like a drug, or like even for some people their work, or for some people even shopping, whatever. And then that would have become a compulsion for me, right? So that was an addiction. I didn't want to feel something. I would, go and hold on to an action, and then I would become addicted to it. In anxiety, the uncomfortable feeling that I may not want to experience is that initial activation of the alert system in our body, which internally is experienced as certain thoughts like, what if this happens to me? What if that happens to me? A feeling in my body, my chest, my breath, a sense of doom, right? So again, we have an uncomfortable feeling that if we want to avoid, we are basically telling our body that, yes, you were right in activating the threat system. So the body will next time activate it even more and more and more. And every time these feelings will get bigger and bigger and bigger. And the only way to make them smaller would be what? To act as if there is no threat, despite the uncomfortable feeling, despite the fact that at that moment you really feel like you're under threat. But the reality of it is that you're just in a shopping mall, right? Or you're just at home. Now, you see, this theme keeps repeating itself, that apparently a great part of being a healthy human being is to learn to sit with an uncomfortable feeling for a while. It will pass, but it seems like there's really no escape from it. If we get scared of that initial uncomfortable feeling, we will go towards things which will have larger impact down the way, right? And it reminds me, once I had an issue with my eye, and I'm just trying to give a physical example so we know what's happening. I had an issue with my eye. It was really itchy. It was so uncomfortable. And Zahra, my wife, is an optometrist. So I went to her, I was like, Zahra, my eye is killing me. She said, Jawad, I'm going to give you a drop, but you should not touch your eye under any circumstances, right? I said, but it's killing me not to. This is so difficult. He said, yes, it's very difficult, right? You have the urge, and your hand is going before the brain even telling it. My hand is going to itch it, because if I itch it a little bit, at least for a few seconds, it'll feel better, right? When a part of the body itches, like you itch it, at least for a few seconds, it feels better, right? So I keep wanting to scratch my eyes a little bit just to itch to go. But Zahra told me, with this condition, if you touch it, yes, for a few seconds, you'll feel better, but it's just going to get worse. And chances are that you'll even transfer it to the other eye, right? So with some things, that was a physical thing. That yes, if I don't sit with the uncomfortable feeling, I may get a kind of satisfaction or a relief for a short while, but what I'm doing is actually perpetuating the issue, right? So the relief, if you want to distract yourself or suppress it or ignore it or not think about it or escape that uncomfortable feeling, yes, you will get a relief, but only for a few minutes or for a few hours. But it's going to come back stronger, and then stronger and stronger and stronger, and we can create a cycle that we may never it will be much difficult to come out of, right? So I'm not saying this is easy to sit with an uncomfortable feeling, not at all. Now, one of you may say that, you know what, you don't know what my anxiety feels like, man, it's difficult. I'm like, I know it's difficult. Yours may be even harder than mine. I get it. Someone may say, you know what, addiction is not easy, man. I'm like, I know it's not easy. Obviously, that's why so many of us, we do the same thing, right? This is not something that you and I are only going through. No, most humanity is going through this. Obviously, it's not easy. But we're saying that, yes, it's not easy, but it seems to be the way, right? It seems to be the way. And so see, it seems like in so many areas in our life, we need this skill. We need this skill of something uncomfortable happening, and we just sit with that. We allow it to run its time. Because with most of these things, if you allow it, it will come and pass, right? Even with my eye, it's not like it's still after 4 years, it's still itching. No, it's uncomfortable. It may stay like that for 20 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours. But if you allow it, it will pass, right? The same is with anxiety, right? Every time you sit with that uncomfortable feelings and urges, you're making it a little bit weaker. And that's why a lot of people say in a matter of a few weeks or a few months, it becomes so much easier, right? Initially, especially the first few weeks, may be really difficult. But even in those few weeks, it's not like the whole 3 weeks it's going to be hell, right? It will come, it will pass. Again, next time it will come, it will pass. So again, I'm not saying this is easy. I'm not saying I'm stronger than you, that person is stronger than us. No, I'm saying we're all in it together, right? I'm dealing with this myself. We are all in this together, and we need to help ourselves, remind ourselves, and see a very important practice in life is to be able that when something uncomfortable happens inside us, instead of getting so scared of it that we want to escape from it, we sit with it. How can we sit with it? The first thing that we need is not to be scared, right? And sometimes having a knowledge of why this is happening helps us be less scared. Like if a person doesn't know what anxiety is, like, okay, see, this is a signal, for example, that my amygdala is sending, these hormones are being in my body, right? For example, maybe right now there's cortisol in my body, and this is what cortisol does. It can do this, right? Why am I feeling like that? If they don't know, suddenly out of nowhere, they keep getting so many scary thoughts, a feeling in their chest, so that they may get scared of that uncomfortable feeling, right? So two things happen. There is the uncomfortable feeling. Yes, the thoughts are there. Yes, the chest is like that. Yes, the breath is different. Maybe they're hyperventilating. That's there. But then what happens is, if we don't know why this is happening, on top of that, we may even get scared of it. Right? Why is this happening to me? Right? Or if, for example, I'm going through a panic attack, my heart is pounding like that. If I don't know why that's happening, or if I don't know that I will be fine, right? No one will get a heart attack from panic attack, right? Panic attack will not kill you. If I don't know that, when I'm in a panic attack and my heart starts beating so fast, I may get scared of it. So not only I'm in physical discomfort, but also get scared of it. Right? So the first step perhaps is for us to know why this is happening to us, so that at least, even though it's uncomfortable, we don't get scared of it. Because as soon as we get scared, it becomes that much more difficult to just sit with it and allow it to pass. Right? I remember once the first time I went to a cold pool. Is that what they call it? Cold water pool? In swimming pool, sometimes there's a place where the water is really hot, the jacuzzi, and then there's a small pool in which the water is really, really cold. It's the first time I'd seen it. I was really young. I'd gone with a friend. I went inside and my body, obviously, was freezing, right? It was difficult. But I got so scared of it as well. And I was screaming, oh my God, what's happening? Get me out, get me out. And then my friend there said something which really helped me. He said, because I came out and then I wanted to, and he was like, see, it's okay. If you're scared of it, forget about it. You don't have to do it. But next time, if you want to go in, right, know that it's going to be very difficult. I'm not saying it's easy. You're going to be freezing. And freezing, it's not easy. But accept that. Accept that this is going to be difficult. Let go. Don't resist, right? Because I was resisting. I was even inside the cold pool, but I was resisting it. I was getting so scared. He said, let go. It's difficult, I know. But try to surrender. Try to let go and then see what happens. So I went in the pool this time and still it was freezing. I could maybe survive 3 to 4 seconds. But it became so much different, my experience. Right? Because the first time, not only it was cold and difficult, but I was also scared on top of that. I was trying to resist it, right? And that had even made it more difficult. Now, I'm not saying this is easy to do in everything. Like someone says, you know what, with anxiety, when it comes, don't resist it. Allow it to sit. No, this may take time. Maybe you need to still learn more about it. Maybe still you need more time to get to a place where you can sit with it and not be scared about it, right? I'm not trying to rush you or blame us or anything. No. But I'm saying that it makes a difference when we're not scared about it, when we know what's happening. Now, and by the way, this is not about anxiety or addiction. It's about so many things in life, right? In so many areas, this idea of sitting with an uncomfortable feeling can be very helpful for us. And then perhaps we can even learn more about ourselves, like with the people who's in addiction, because we said another area in which this happens is addiction. For people who have addiction, and it happened as a result of them trying to avoid a certain uncomfortable feeling or a pain, if they actually try and understand why is that pain there, right? Okay, I'm feeling insecure, I'm feeling lonely. Well, maybe for the past 10 years, I just tried to avoid it through this substance or through, for example, this addiction. Now let me see, why do I feel that way? right? When you sit with the pain or with that uncomfort, with that insecurity, with that whatever it is, you may even learn things about yourself from it that can start a journey of healing. So not only it will free you from that addiction, but then if once you are not afraid of feeling bad, once you're not afraid of feeling insecure, once you're not feeling afraid of feeling scared, you're like, okay, I'm scared. Well, that's part of life. Sometimes in life you get scared. Why should I escape this? No, I want to sit with it. My body is talking to me, right? Okay, I'm feeling insecure. Okay, what are you trying to tell me? I'm not going to escape you. I'm so sorry. I wasn't listening to you, right? You know, imagine if we treated a sibling like this, that anytime your sibling came and said, I'm anxious, you're like, no, don't talk to me. Go and watch a movie. Or anytime my sibling came to me and said, you know what, I feel lonely. He was like, go on Instagram, go eat. But we sometimes treat ourselves like that. Every time we get a feeling that we're lonely, instead of saying, oh, you feel lonely? Why? What can I do to help? We're like, nah, you feel lonely? Let's go on social media, right? Every time our body or our mind tells us that there's something, instead of engaging with it, we're like, okay, let's go eat, right? We would never do that to another person, or if we did, we wouldn't think that's a healthy thing to do. If every time someone comes, I'm scared, go watch a movie. No. If your sibling comes and says, I'm scared, you're like, okay, sit down, let's talk, what's going on? Right? But with ourselves, when we feel scared, we don't engage with it. We don't allow that experience to come so we see what's happening. No, we're like, okay, I'm scared. Ooh, let's not deal with that. Let's go watch a movie. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Right? Ooh, you feel insecure? I don't want to deal with that. Right? So we abandon ourselves. Right? We abandon ourselves. And again, obviously, I'm not attacking any of us. It's not easy. It's difficult. It's difficult to sit down with an uncomfortable feeling and listen to it and allow it to run its course. It's not easy, right? That's why so many of us were in this. If it was easy, why would we even have a discussion? No, it's not difficult, but it's a good skill to have. And I think that one of the main teachings of fasting or Sawm in the month of Ramadan is the same. Right? Because in fasting, if you want to benefit from it spiritually, one of the main teachings of fasting is that, you don't want to practice sitting with an uncomfortable feeling, with anxiety. It's too difficult. Oh, of course, fair enough. You don't want to try it with one of your addictions. Maybe you have this addiction for 5 years, 10 years. That's difficult. Okay. Let's start with something else. Let's start with hunger. And of course, I have to say, hunger for someone could be a difficult thing, especially if they're addicted or if they have eating issues. For them, it might be difficult. But for other people, hunger is not one of the hardest things they're dealing with. Like if it's, for example, fasting or dealing with anxiety, for many people, fasting is much easier. So what fasting is there to teach us is, we are going to practice together. We're going to practice sitting with an uncomfortable feeling, and then instead of escaping from it, instead of suppressing it, we'll just allow it to run its course. I am not saying this is how people fast. Believe me, most people don't fast this way. And that's why even though they fast, they still don't get the spiritual practice in it. The spiritual training in it is not benefited from. Why? Because when we're fasting and we get hungry, what do? Ooh, let's not think about it now, right? We'll try to suppress it. Or we may sleep through it. If hunger came and I tried to distract myself from it by watching a movie, or I tried to suppress it by thinking about something else, what does that mean? It means the uncomfortable feeling of hunger came. It was time for me to practice it, but I was like, nah, suppress, nah, distract, right? And this shows itself. How do we know that we're suppressing the hunger? We're not really dealing with it, because as soon as iftar time comes, when you no longer need to suppress, then it all comes back up, right? The whole day, instead of sitting with hunger, feeling it, allowing it to calm, sit maybe 10, 20 uncomfortable minutes, and go, we suppressed it. I don't want to think about it. Suppress. And then at night, when iftar time comes, it comes back and we destroy that biryani or that cholo kebab or whatever you were into, right? If we're eating like that, what is that showing us? That we didn't deal with hunger. We just postponed it a few hours. It came back stronger. Just like what? Just like the anxiety. We didn't deal with it. It went and came back stronger, right? But how should fasting be done if it wants to be beneficial? At least once every day or once every few days that you're fasting. When we feel hungry, let's not watch a movie, right? Let's sit with that feeling of hunger, be like, okay, this is hunger. It's uncomfortable. Look how it feels in my body, right? It's doing this thing in my stomach. Like I feel it here. Oh, my energy is like allow hunger to come and then see how it feels. It's like when we say I'm hungry, what does it feel like, right? Sit with it and learn that about yourself. See when hunger comes, something inside my stomach, I feel it here, right? My tongue is a little bit dry. I feel like my mouth is dry. So this is what hunger is like. A little bit, maybe like it's a little bit harder to keep my shoulders up, right? You sit with hunger, and I'm not saying it's easy. No, it could be really uncomfortable, right? But that's how we can practice. That's how we can learn. We practice sitting with hunger for 20 minutes. And another, by the way, important lesson of this is that it tells us, hunger comes and goes, right? Because one of the scariest thing about an uncomfortable feeling is that when you're in it, you never think it's going to go, right? Like when you're anxious, you're not going to thinking that, it's going to go in 20 minutes. No, it's going to be here. Oh my God, what do I do, right? With hunger is the same. When we feel hungry, like, damn it, like it's 4 o'clock. Iftar is at 4 to 8, 4 hours left. I'm done. What do I do? But if you take the time and sit with hunger, like, okay, I'm not scared of you. I don't care. I'm not scared. Let's see, what do you have? You will see that, after 10, 15 minutes of uncomfortable feeling, hunger goes actually. It's a feeling, it comes and goes, right? It may come again in 2 hours, but it usually doesn't stay that long. It comes 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it goes, right? Haven't you seen this yourself, that you were so hungry before iftar, like you were coming back from work, you were like, okay, I'm gonna get home to eat. I'm so hungry, I can't take it. But by the time you got home, you were like washing your hands and touching, like, I forgot I was hungry, right? Because hunger comes and goes. Now, if we see this and not, because hearing it is useless. See, if I tell you that hunger comes and goes, it's useless. You have to feel it in your body. It has to become a memory, a real memory of your experience, of your life. That's experiences come and go. They don't last. And then later on, if you've had enough practice with hunger, later on in anxiety, you can bring this and this will help you. So with anxiety, I have to try the same thing. Yes, it's the next level. It's not as easy as hunger. It's harder. But I've had at least level 1 training. I know that things can come and go. So if a real fast is like this, if we actually sit with the hunger, otherwise all we've done in a day is that we've just suppressed it. It's not going to have that much of a spiritual impact, right? And you can see that many of us, we fasted and we never even thought about any of this. That fasting is a practice to sit with an uncomfortable feeling so that you can learn this skill, because this skill is going to be super important in so many areas of our life. Let me see, how much have I been speaking? Didn't I say that 20 minutes is going to go more than 20 minutes? I actually had more to say about this. I'm trying to see, should I end the discussion here, go to Q&A, or maybe we can continue a few more minutes. I'll just maybe continue a few more minutes, then maybe we can discuss it in more details next week perhaps. So see, once you start doing this, you realize that it seems like there are 2 levels in your life. Let me show it this way. You realize that, okay, it seems like, because the whole night, what have we been discussing? we've been discussing that we need to learn to sit with an uncomfortable feeling, right? And in order to do that, we need to step away from it, right? We need to step away and see, okay, for example, I'm fasting, I'm feeling hungry, but if I'm one with the hunger, I'm so scared. It's like Javad in the cold pool, right? The pool of cold water. I said he doesn't know what's happening. He's just scared. But if Javad detaches itself, okay, see, this is cold water. We're going to jump into it. It's going to be difficult, right? With the hunger as well. See, sometimes we can be so distracted by hunger, we even forget what's happening. It's just so uncomfortable. But another time is like I detach myself from the hunger. I try to look at it. Ooh, this is what hunger looks like. Oh, hunger is making my stomach feel this way, right? So it's as if you step back and you observe your experience, right? This is the same with, for example, anxiety. We can either feel stuck in the middle of it. Oh my God, right? What's happening? So many scary food. What if this happens? What if that happens, right? I can become an actor in the what if thoughts. Like I keep thinking, what if this happens? What if that happens? Or I can step back and see, I'm having what if thoughts. See, this is very different. You can either think them, not knowing this is anxiety, thinking this is real life, this is all there is. What if this happens to me? What if that happens to me? Or you can step back and say, what if thoughts are coming to my mind? What if thoughts are a sign of anxiety? That's what's happening. I am going through an anxiety. My body has activated the alert system, the fight or flight system, right? Do you know what I'm saying? That you detach yourself from it and you kind of observe what's happening, right? You can either see that these what if thoughts are in your head, or no, Hassan, you don't even know they're in your head. You're thinking them. You're in the middle of them. You're engaging with them. These are very different. And it's the same with hunger. It's the same with addiction, right? For example, with addiction, how can it feel? I'm going to show how these two levels of like detaching yourself when temptations come. Let's say a person is addicted to watch, for example, indecent videos, right? They go on these websites and they watch dirty videos, right? Now, the temptation has come, right? The urge is in there. They can either be one with the urge, feel like this is all there is, and we're talking about their inner experience. What is their inner experience going to be like? You're going to be like, oh my God, if I don't watch this video, I'll never be happy. Like, I want to watch this. I need to watch this, man. I sound like, I'll never be happy. Damn. Why am I a Muslim that is like, this is haram? Damn, I want to watch this, right? The inner experience is like this, or you can step away. I'm not saying becomes so easy. I'm not saying about easy or difficult. I'm just saying how different it becomes. You can either be in the middle of the urge, thinking the thoughts of the urge. Oh, if I don't have this, I'll never be happy. Or you can step away and observe it, right? Right? So in the first state, you're like, oh, if I don't have this, I'll never be happy. But in the second situation, you're like, oh, this is what's happening. I'm going through a very serious temptation. And this thought that if I don't watch this video, I'll never be happy, this is not my thought. This is the temptation talking. And I have heard this before, right? Last time as well, it told me if you don't watch this video, you'll never be happy. But after 20 minutes, the urge went and with it all its thoughts. Right? Now, I'm not saying this immediately makes it easier to stay away from the temptation, but at least it changes the scenario, right? You can either think the thoughts of temptation and think these are your thoughts, like the temptation is telling you. Temptation, by the way, has its own thoughts in the same way that anxiety has. Anxiety brings its own set of thoughts. What if this? What if that? Temptation brings its own thoughts. If you don't do this, you'll never be happy. Come on, do this. You need this. Your life depends on this. You will never, I'm here forever. You either have to do this, your life will be miserable. This is temptation talking. But when you detach, you realize, oh my God, temptation, last time you told me the same. last time you told me that my happiness depends on watching this video. I watched it and actually afterwards I felt so guilty. You lied to me, right? Or temptation, you told me if I don't watch it, I'm going to be feeling miserable. But last time I stayed for a few minutes, you went away and I didn't even feel the need anymore, right? So it's you detach yourself and you observe it. And now, again, I'm not saying just by doing this, it becomes super easy to get rid of addiction. No, even once you do this, the temptation may still win over, right? We need many times of doing this till we become strong to stay away, right? Like with 1 or 2 times, we may not still win. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying this is the way. And you learn to come one step back and then watch your life. This practice itself, this practice of coming one step behind and watching whatever is happening in our life becomes the source of not only solving anxiety, not only solving addiction, so many things, but also it becomes a source for inner peace. Hala, we'll talk about this later on. Slowly, with enough practice here and there, we can get to a place where no matter what happens in life, we can always step away and watch it. And then we can get to a place where this part, because this is the real us can step away, can step back from almost anything. And despite how difficult this is, this could be anxiety, this could be addiction, this could be temptation, this could be hunger, this could be pain, this could be suffering, this could be loneliness, right? We can get to a place where no matter what this is, like the life circumstances, we can step away and still be peaceful, still have a sense of inner calm. Not that life is easy. No, life would be difficult. Maybe there's loneliness, insecurity, anxiety, all of this. But you can step away and despite all of that have inner peace. And this inner peace, chances are, is that will solve so many of the problems in the life circumstances as well. Like anxiety, it can clearly solve anxiety. It can solve an addiction. It may not bring a loved one back, but even then, it will help you, despite the pain, to have your peace. Because what's better, to be in pain of losing a loved one and being scared, or going through the pain and not being scared, right? So this practice can help us reach a place where no matter what life circumstances we have that inner peace. And I want to finish the discussion by one line from Imam Sajjad in Ziyarat Aminullah. And he says, Allahumma faj'al nafsi mutma'innatan biqadarik raziyatan biqada'ik. Oh God, make myself in a way that is calm and peaceful, mutma'innatan biqadarik. No matter what happens in my life, I want to have that inner peace. Right? I'm going through pain. I want to be able to detach from it and observe it and have my inner peace. Right? Raziyatan biqaza'ik. No matter what life circumstances I have, I want to have my inner peace. Right? Allahumma faj'al nafsi mutma'innatan biqadarik radiyatan biqada'ik muli'atan bidhikrika wa du'aik. This was the part I wanted to speak about later on, but I didn't get the chance. In this dua, it says that once you learn to find this inner peace and not allow life circumstances to drag you in, then you will realize that, oh my God, there's so much more to life. Because right now, most of our time is just dealing with this. I'm dealing with my addiction, I'm dealing with my anxiety, right? I just get 1 second of air, again something happens. Like I'm trying to breathe for 1 second, think about life. Why am I here? What's soul? What's God? Again, I'm dragged back to pain. But once I have some free air, fresh mind from all of this, then I get to see, oh, there's so much beauty in this life that I didn't even have the time to notice, right? So then you start living. We start seeing, oh my God, there's so much more in this life. And it's as if like whole new levels of this life game are unlocked. And I think I'll stop here.